then here's, so we kind of threw, this was a change that we threw out of it. Still GT to the left. And this is like where that, and this is where I say that defensive end can create some havoc. So we try to, throw a little hitch behind it, really trying to hold. We're trying to get this inside linebacker to hold right there. Safety's kind of far-ish off, so my quarterback probably knows that he has a chance to throw this hitch right here, especially if the safety doesn't walk down. But that defensive end right there, bats that thing down. If we're able to find an alleyway, we probably pick up a decent game. But like I said, I will say this Hunt D line was very, very talented. They were big and they were athletic too. And he might have taken a little, as a quarterback, he should have just flipped his hips and tried to throw him, which he kind of did. But, that's the thing that's different between, like, right here, if I'd had GH on, I probably could have helped him out. GT, we get it batted down. Then we go back to two back. And he probably really should have pulled that, but I don't know I can't remember what time of the game we were on. We messed that all up, actually. So here's one where we're going to run GT. And like I said, we have a ton of variation. So right here, sometimes we'll bring him in orbit. We'll run GT to the left, and he becomes the pitch guy. Well, we just faked it just to try to get some people moving. It worked okay for us. I wouldn't say that's exactly where I wanted him to run, but we got enough eye candy in front of this to fake it and then still run what we wanted to run. Now, on this play, the quarterback still, so when this happens, he's going to fake and he's going to come here now. What that does is he's still going to read the same guy. He's reading that DN. That DN goes up the field. We're able to hand this off. Running back cuts, uses vision, makes a guy miss, and he's off to the races, and, we're back to a first down. So that's just another version of some things we'll do with our GT, and probably everybody does it. But the biggest thing when we do it is from my perspective, as far as like with quarterbacks, and running backs too, because I really coach up both. We are trying to keep the rules as similar or the same as possible. We are really not trying, like, I don't want to have to change up rules based on how we run, different things. We're really trying to make sure the rules are the exact same no matter what. And this was probably one of his best runs of the year, which he was just being an athlete. We did not run GH there, and somehow he beat everybody. I don't even know how he did it. So here's that action of that orbit. We don't run GT out of this, but we will, and then we fumbled this one. And this is why I say you gotta, in the option game, sometimes you gotta, there's me good, there's me bad. We're gonna have plays like this, and we're gonna fumble. And then we're gonna have plays where you pitch it out there and he's gone. This ended up being, kind of got beat in D tackle. He ends up pulling it, and really the corner is the one that makes the tackle right here. So we just got to be better at the edge blocking, because right here, if we have that corner pinned in and we make a good pitch and catch, all this out here, there's no one there. So it's just, we just got to execute a little bit better on plays like that. And then here's kind of our quarterback. And this is where I say too, so it's a young guy. This is actually the game before Hunt. This is Southern Wayne. They were another good team we faced this year. It was rainy, it was wet, it was cold. We run quarterback GT counter to the left. So he knows all week we've been reading this D tackle right here. So when this D tackle, he really should have pulled this ball. And I hope I have the end zone view of this next. But is when that D tackle comes and is kind of dead, if he pulls this and we get out, we're going over here. And it's probably easier to see. Dang it! I wish I had the views. I wish I had the view of the end zone view on this one. I can't remember. This night was the night we waited. I think we had an hour or an hour and a half rain delay. So I don't remember if we kept our camera up or not. But you'll see that D tackle is the one that comes free. If he'll pull this ball, there's no one out here, and he probably runs for a long time. Instead, we kind of get walked down to the edge, and it ends up being not a good play. That's just another variation we have off of it. I would say this was probably one of our not cleanest offensive nights. We did have if I can get to it, we had a really big, we had a big run. He had a big run at a GT counter, and this might be it. Here it comes, yeah. So we're in 2x2 for us, and they're in a 3-3. Not a true stack, but them stack guys are walked down. So we know, we should be blocked up here. We should be blocked up here. And really that stack guy is the guy that's going to cause some issues for us if he kind of sits. Now they both kind of come and he pulls this ball and he ends up making a heck of a run. I don't know how he doesn't go down right here. And then he does the rest. And this is where having a guy, kind of a dual threat guy, having an offense like ours is a big deal. So, he rides right here. He thinks shoulders are turned enough and he pulls. The stack guy kind of gets faked out during this process too. So here's the stack guy. You'll see him. He's right there. If you kind of follow him through the play, he's already thinking that ball's gone. He's still right here looking, and our quarterback's run over here. We just missed some blocks here or there that, this play kind of could have got shut dead, but he ended up getting up and making a fantastic play. That was one of his best runs all year. For him, that's the East Wait right there. That was our normal triple, and I'll show that just so. And here's why I say sometimes if you ever do want to run triple, I used to say start with inside zone. I think I've changed my opinion sometimes and said start with GT. And I say that because of how much faster the decision making is with inside zone principles out of triple than with GT principles out of triple. Like he has longer to decide in GT and make it so it's not as quick a decision compared to inside zone. Like inside zone right here happens real quick. Now you can't ask for anything more beautiful than that right there from an O-line. That hole looks marvelous. And that's exactly what you want. Now, I'm just going to play it one time in real speed, and then we'll find a GT and look at how much quicker it just hits quicker, and it is so much faster, which is good. But it does mean your quarterback's got to have faster decision making, and that's one thing that makes it a little difficult for that. That was not our GT counter. So this is that's something we don't do that a ton, to be honest. I forgot I put that in there. It's kind of a quick pitch we have. We weren't magical at it this year. And you'll see sometimes we won't run them. We won't run them great. And like for us, like I said, all these are different plays, but I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the action from the running back standpoint is the exact same. There's no difference in landmarks or actions or what he's doing from that perspective. And this is kind of this is our GH again. We tag a slant with it. We end up missing right there. Luckily, got lucky that corner didn't. It really kind of chanced that grab that in the air. This is GH again, and we hit a little slant underneath. It's just GH, RPO, find a window. Quarterback knows he's got some time. He has a seal on. He thinks he can fit it up in there. He kind of sees where that linebacker goes, and he fits it right in the window. And then we let our guys do the rest. Okay. I think this is late in the game. He probably could have. We kind of went to a 2x2 set right here, and you'll see he runs GT. He maybe could have pulled that, but I think this was late in the game, and I might have told him, yeah, like right there. So on this normal situation, see him kind of getting that back hip, and this one I'm talking about the back hip or shoulders hard. He gets in this back hip of our right tackle. At that moment, we should pull that ball. This might have been. I'm pretty sure this is the end of the game. But if it's normal, that should have been a pull. I'm gonna get out of these. I'm about to say, yeah, some of these got super. We had a game. We had a game where lights went out. We already seen some of these. I'm about saying I have so many clips of basically because all we do is options, so it kind of looks the same over and over and over. For us at least. And that's the thing too. So he had this little this is what I'm talking about, the little wiggle. Your quarterback doesn't have to be, I wouldn't say your most explosive athlete or best, but we run triple right here. He pulls it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's correct, but he's got a little wiggle. He gives a little fake, and he picks up 12. Some of them just have it, and that's that orbit motion. We didn't run GT with it, but we can. I mean, we can run GH right now. Nothing's going to change for us at all. The only thing that's going to change is the number. That's literally it. We can stay in the same formation, and we can run triple, straight inside zone triple. We can run GH. We can run GT. I mean, we can run so many things right here and still keep the same principles in the backfield. Nothing really changes for us as far as who we're reading, and what we're reading, and what the quarterback is looking at. This was a great play by a run back. I think we come back to this. I think we run kind of the same thing. So we go back in orbit. I don't know if we got confused. I think we were trying to run GH. We might have got confused, and we ended up running like super counter with the guard, the tackle, and the H. We do not have that play. But I think we got confused. It ended up working out for us. But he should be reading dive, pitch. They kind of seal it off, so he should hand it off. And that's something we'll talk about too. Like sometimes if they steal that outside lane off, sometimes it's easier just to hand it off and let whatever happen. And normally a running back will make a good play for us. And here's one kind of deep in the red zone. He sees everybody crash, and he'll just pull it. And still he could pitch it right now if he really wanted. I mean, he's not because we're only a yard away, but if he wanted to pitch that, he could. So we put now. So here's our H. So this is our H back right here. Now his hands in the dirt. We did this to really try to widen them out a little bit. They didn't really widen out. They kind of stayed the same. But now also we did this too. So here, so if your quarterback is ever struggling in a game, he's in a slump, whatever he's in, if he's struggling at that time to making decisions, one way to do it is block the read guy. In reality, normally this quarterback counter right here, our read guy is right here. Well, we just put the tight end there. Hey, tight end knows his rule. He knows he's going to block him. Quarterback knows he's blocking him, so he knows it's automatic pull and it's a run. Now, in reality, we didn't do a great job of, following probably who we probably should have followed or going or blocking, but I'm just talking just from the backfield quarterback. This kind of eliminates. He does the same action, but eliminates his decision. And then as you get going with him, especially a young guy, you can kind of put some of that back in, and he might, get out of his own slump. Then he does a marvelous job right here. Kind of one of our quick pitch plays. It's not GT, but just kind of like I said, all these plays, the action is the same. The action doesn't change for us. Then I think that's what helps keep it consistent. And this might have been what I was talking about earlier. No, we didn't run GT off of this, but we will. We'll run GT with a bubble backside. It was something different we ran with it, but we'll run GT with counter backside, and these are all kind of from up top. I'll show you the last one from Smithfield Selma with the action up top with that bubble. This might be it right here. Yeah, so it's not GT, but we'll run GT. That's the next one he throws it. So we ran it once. He didn't throw it this time. He throws it, and really, it's kind of pre-snap read in general. He's really counting numbers. So right here, he's looking. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 in the box. And he knows now we got numbers outside. So he's just going to go ahead, mesh, flick, throw, and just let athletes be athletes. So he'll do some of that. This was West Johnson. So this was the game. I think he came in, really helped us. This game in South Johnston, and did some really good things. So, and here it is. Here's GT with bubble for us. So we run GT, and basically what he's doing right here. So he knows right now. Okay, so in reality, he knows dive, pitch, but they kind of have an extra guy out here that normally wouldn't be a concern for us, but West Johnson did a great job defensively against us, and really brought some extra hats in some places that kind of disrupted our triple option. So this was kind of the night we went to some other things, and we ran that GT with the bubble. And as soon as he saw that guy fire, he knew he was already going to get out here, throw the bubble. And I think we might have fumbled that ball. Unfortunately, yeah, we did. But still good read by a quarterback, good play. And it's just GT with a bubble. And I think we didn't run GT with a bubble there, but kind of the same concept. We really could have if we wanted to come right there, catch. And I tell our guys, quarterback wise, if they see this, they don't have to mesh. They can just take one step back and throw the bubble. Like the mesh is going to be pointless because it's not going to matter because they've already decided they're coming either way. We try to get out. I think that was the last time we ran that play. We try to get out on like a little speed option, kind of throw a wrinkle through it. We run the same little bubble again, and we pick up a decent amount. So here's GT with now that orbit return. So we finally, I probably said we run it, but then you ain't seen it in however many clips. Probably like maybe not running enough. But this is that GT, and then with the orbit right there. So and this is where he does a good job. So he identifies really, and this is where your quarterback's got to be pretty. He just got to be savvy. So he sees that this is dive. Well, one of their outside linebackers, that's really a safety. One of their outside linebackers, he's actually over here now. And he had been over here where he should be the pitch guy, but now that safety is now technically his pitch guy, and he's running. And that's the thing. If you ever get into option, I tell our quarterbacks, keep running at the pitch guy to make him make a decision. Sometimes you'll see him pitch it too early or decide to run it too early. You keep running right at him until he makes a decision. Now he keeps running. And at this point, we know what his decision is, and he just kept running. And, like I say, he didn't get away from everybody, but he picked up about 20 yards. So then we run it again, and we're able to hit onto the interior. We're able to kind of keep everybody on the edge, kind of more honest in this. That's actually our trap, but for us, it's still the fact that he could pull that and pitch it out there. Nothing really has changed. We didn't go a ton of this during the year. We went empty right here, trying to get some numbers to run them in the box. It didn't go as well, but and that's the thing too. I think if you ever option GT, especially that bubble play, you also one thing we emphasize too is our edge blocking. We make sure that our edge blocking is as good as it can be. I'm not saying every play is not gonna be perfect. The sooner or later, then we had this play on there because it was kind of triple option. We faked the bubble and then threw it deep, but then we're gonna come right back to our two back. And that's the thing too. This sometimes you have plays like this, and I don't mind showing them because sometimes it's just not as beautiful as what you wish it would be. So like we right here, we run triple inside. He probably does the right decision to pull this. He maybe could have handed it off. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Going by the rule, probably should have handed it off. But the other thing too, if that quarterback thinks at that moment he can pull it and make something happen, you gotta allow him to. And right here, if we do connect on this, all we gotta do is kind of make one guy miss and we're fine, but we end up fumbling, and we end up losing that game. Try to get to I'm gonna try to get to a different team. I think this is we did okay here, but that's that saying GT with the bubble. At some point. Yeah, so we ended up. I think we fumbled that play right there, but we saw that one from the end zone view. Make sure my laptop don't die on me. There we go. I'm gonna get to a different team because we end up going. We had a quarterback change. It was this game was the first official start for him. Because some of these are earlier in the year, right here. This is Southern Nash, but as you see, we got a different guy in, and I mean, just nothing against either one of them. Just at that time, we were trying both of them at the same time. They were both getting reps. And I think that's the hardest time when you got young quarterbacks. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but that's still right there. This is where we actually run GT with the tight end. And so technically they're kind of in the forefront. Southern did a good job of going 3 and 4 on us this year, and it kind of made it a little tricky at times. But he thinks he can throw that RPO. He ends up throwing it right into that slant with a good catch, good throw. But I mean, like I said, we don't do anything. I wouldn't say we do anything fancy or crazy. We tried to slip the tight end right there, but we early in the year, I think we tried to spread it a little bit more. And as we went on, we became more of run first. But a lot of our stuff is the same stuff, kind of over and over. But we just believe in getting really, really good at it. So right here, that's GT for us. GT out of 2 back, and I wouldn't say a lot of times we end up pulling this and pitching it. I would say when we do pull it and pitch it, it ends up being in runs 15 plus. If we do pull and pitch it, it's going to be a big play. But I wouldn't say. I'd say 90% of the time, this is what happens right here. We're going to hand it out. We're going to hold 1, 2, 3, and then you kind of see him looking. So we're kind of holding 4 guys off of this between all the pulling, all the handoffs in the back, and end up getting a big run off of it. I'm gonna say, Coach, if you got any questions, feel free. I know I've been going about an hour right here.
Yeah, no, you did a great job, man.
It's the same thing kind of for us over and over. It's just, and here you see here, actually, we're getting him some reps right now. Both young guys got in. So, this was early on. This was early in the year for us. Yeah, if you got any questions, I'll feel free to answer them or anything.
No, I want to put your Twitter in the comments in case someone wants to get to you. But you did a great job of showing it and then showing. I mean, it's remarkable how many people you hold on the backside by just the ability to run option out the back. I mean, three, four guys sometimes holding on the backside, afraid of option.
Right. Normally we don't. I mean, if we don't hold three, like if we don't hold three on the backside of GT, I'm not happy, and I'm telling our quarterbacks we have not done a good enough job at faking it. To be honest, like that play right there, you just watch kind of work, but I wouldn't say that was a marvelous fake on his part. Kind of trying to slip through there, but like you're right. I mean, we'll hold guys, and then it's just a matter of us actually executing out. Like this is that's GH, and we actually put GH with an RPO plus the backside action. So if we make that connection right there, it's actually pretty good, and there's a good alleyway. Because I mean, it's the same stuff over and over. It's just a matter of like being really, really good at your craft. So, where do you want to put that in the comments?
I'll put it in there. I've got your Twitter. I just wanted to be able to reach out to you because I know there's going to be a lot of option guys that are going to want to ask questions. But you did a fantastic job, man.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and you know, I learned most of this stuff from Coach Nelson, and then when I was under Coach Ferris, we did a lot of RPOs, so I kind of tried to blend the two.
I didn't realize you ran so many RPOs. So that was those are good look. You're getting good looks at that slant off the RPO look too. So I mean,
Yeah,
both
well,
of them are impressive.
we get so many of them linebackers flying around because we're pulling. We got running backs running around. They'll get out of sorts a little bit, and the next thing you know, we can find a window right behind them. And I think the biggest thing going forward is just us being able to execute hitting those windows a little bit more, and just getting more reps at it.
Well, with two sophomores, you're gonna have plenty of time to get good at it.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have that mapped out by August. Hopefully.
Sounds good, brother. Appreciate you doing this, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.